Hey guys, so for today I have a full face first impressions video. I do these videos so often, but it's because I enjoy filming them and you guys enjoy watching them. For today's look, I was super inspired by Beauty Bird here on YouTube. She did like this full gray kind of makeup tutorial and I was like, I need to play with grays immediately. So I kind of just created this all gray kind of look using a bunch of new products that I'm going to kind of test out for the first time with you guys and share with you my first impressions. Normally in these videos, it's kind of rare for me to test out the products and really not like them. I mainly more just like a lot of them, but in today's video, there's quite a couple of them that really did not work out for me. So I'm really excited for you guys to kind of see what products I did like and which I didn't like. So if you guys are interested in checking out how I got this all gray, super smoky, kind of vampy makeup look using all new products and seeing my first impressions, then just keep on watching. So the first thing we're going to be trying out is this Amazing Cosmetics Line Smoothing Primer. They actually sent over to me a bunch of their products. Oh, this is like a weird kind of tip there. I don't even know how to use this. Oh, okay, cool. It smells like kind of weird pepperminty, which you guys know how I feel about strong smelling makeup products. This is super smooth, but almost a little bit greasy. Like so silky. Actually reminds me a lot of the Dr. Brandt Pores No More primer, which I am not a fan of. So I don't know, I'll have to keep testing that out and see how I like it. So moving on to foundation, I'm going to be testing out the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Foundation. I've always wanted to try this foundation, but I've also heard that it may not be the best for oily skin because it is super dewy. But then recently I've been seeing like a couple people saying that it's actually a dupe for the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, which I love that foundation. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna give it a try. This is in the shade W6. It may be a tad bit dark for me at the moment. Usually this would probably match me when I'm like, maybe add an extra layer of tan or something. But we'll make it work. It's kind of like a medium coverage, and to be honest, it's not dewy on me at all. Like, at all. It's not even like a runny, liquidy, dewy foundation. It does have a weird smell, but it has SPF 20, so I'm assuming that that is what that smell is. It is kind of hard to blend, I will say, though. Like, I'm finding myself like rubbing a lot. I don't know, I'm not crazy about this foundation. It reminds me a little bit of the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, but it's a little bit cakier than that one, and it's a little bit tougher to blend out, a little less coverage, and I don't like the smell, so I don't know. I think this is probably gonna be a no for me right off the bat. I already can tell I don't think I like that. So I also got a new concealer from Amazing Cosmetics, and this one is in the shade Light Golden. I'm kind of debating on whether or not I should even use it for today, because although I picked the shade Light Golden, it does not look golden, okay? It is like straight up pink to me, but I don't know, we're gonna try. Probably should have used a flippin' brush to apply this, but whatever. Let's see how this blends out underneath the eye, because I'm like picky with concealers that don't blend nicely, because the under eye area is already such like a delicate area that like can easily go from like 0 to 100, you know? So I feel like a really good blendable concealer that doesn't look dry is super important. So that blended out pretty nicely, although I will say I'm not like dying over it, you know? Like I'm not like, oh my god, that's like the greatest concealer ever. But maybe if I had a better shade, like I find that this is not golden at all, it's kind of pinky, and I like yellow, like straight up yellow concealers. So maybe if I had a better shade. It's looking a little dewy though, like do you guys see that? It's kind of like greasy-ish. I don't think I'm having a very good full face first impression so far. Normally when I do these videos, like a lot of the products I end up loving, but so far, I haven't really loved anything I put on and tried. I am going to go ahead and quickly set the under eye. I'm just going to use the Wet n Wild contour palette because I don't have a new under eye highlighting setting powder to use. Okay, so I'm also trying out a new face powder. This is the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Foundation Powder. I'm actually excited to see if I like this or not because I do love the Better Skin Foundation. So I have mine in the shade 50 Natural Beige, which is the shade that I use in the foundation. Really nice. Like, gives a good amount of coverage and it seems super smooth. Okay, so I was at Walmart the other day and I was browsing the NYC section. Now you guys know I love the NYC Sunny Bronzing Powder. Now I saw that they come in a new packaging now with the little peep thing here. So I'm like, totally getting it just for the new packaging, right? But then I went ahead and swatched it and I was like, the formula is different. It's much creamier and much more pigmented. So I'm kind of interested to test it out on the face and I'm hoping that I enjoy the upgraded formula better and I'm hoping that the color's the same. So I just went ahead, dabbed twice, and we're gonna see if it's the same OG Sunny Bronzer that I and many others love. So. Definitely the same beautiful bronzer, just with like more pigmented creamy formula. Now I'm just going to contour with the same Wet n Wild contouring palette. So again, I was at Walmart the same day I got the NYC bronzer and I came across this kind of bronzing blusher type of thing. It's by Hard Candy and this is the So Baked bronzer in 131 Hula. And this is so beautiful. I went ahead and swatched it and it's just this gorgeous like golden sheen peachy bronzing blusher thing. So I'm gonna use it as a blush today, see how that works. This has like this golden beautiful highlight in there. I don't know if you guys can see, and it's really luminizing. So this is gonna be kind of a great highlighting blusher type of product. I'm just gonna see how it works. I feel like this would be great even over a blush, but because I just want to see how this is, I'm gonna try it on its own. Really pretty. I don't know if you guys can really capture that, but it actually gave me a highlight. Yeah, it gave me like this extra bronze highlighted effect. So I feel like if one day I was like in a really big rush and I didn't have time to do the bronzer contour highlight thing, I could just use this as like a bronzing product and it would work as a bronzing blusher highlight all in one. So I think this is a really great product, especially for the price. I mean, I don't know if you guys can really tell how it looks, but it's really pretty. So now I'm gonna be testing out a new highlighter. I'm kind of nervous to try this out because I just know, or at least I really think that it's going to be too light on my skin tone, but I figured I'm still just gonna try it out for you guys. So this is by the Estee Edit, and this is their Flash Illuminating Fluid Powder in the shade 01 Heat. It's a really beautiful highlight, but again, I'm kind of scared that it's gonna be too light on me. But I think if anything, I can always put a little bit of the Hard Candy on top if I find it's too light for me. So I'm gonna go ahead, take a little bit of this. Ooh, it's pigmented. Definitely pretty. Again, it's a little light for me, I can tell. Yeah, so it's a bit light for me. So what I'm gonna do is dip into that Hard Candy thing and just go on this golden shade here. And just like mix it in a little bit. And that just gives it more of a healthy golden sheen just for my skin tone. So I went ahead and did my brows because I don't have a new brow product to try, but I do have a new eyeshadow primer to try. This is the Essence I Heart Stage. Yeah, I Heart Stage Eyeshadow Base. I have heard a ton of good things about this. I believe there's only one shade in this, so yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that on the lid directly. I like how easy it is to like apply, you know, just straight from the tube. And I'm actually gonna use my beauty blender to go ahead and blend that out. This reminds me a lot of my MAC Soft Ochre paint pot. It's just a little bit of a different shade, but other than that, It reminds me a lot of that, just in liquid form, and it blends out really nicely. So that looks really good. And I like the way it feels too. So for the eyes today, we're gonna take the Stila Mind palette. This palette has a lot of beautiful grays, and that's what I'm gonna kind of work with for today. This palette isn't new in my collection at all. I don't have an eyeshadow palette that is completely new. I'm just gonna set the primer with that lightest shade. I don't have an eyeshadow palette that's completely new to my collection, except the Urban Decay Moon Dust palette, but this palette only has like shimmers in it. So I'm gonna need a couple mattes to work with, so that's what I'm gonna do first, is just give myself a good little matte gray smoky eye, and then we'll see what we can kind of do with the Urban Decay Moon Dust. So I'm just setting that eyeshadow primer. So even though this palette is not new, I am gonna go over quickly what I'm doing for the eyes. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take this kind of nice transition shade here, and I'm just going to pop that right into the crease. Next, I'm gonna take this really pretty kind of purpley gray shade, and I'm just gonna pop that directly into the crease. Next, I'm gonna take this really nice cool gray, and I'm just going to pop that directly into the crease and also in the outer V area. So taking the same shades that I just used in the crease, I'm gonna pop them in the same order on the lower lash line and just kind of smoke it out as I normally do with a smoky eye. And then we will move on to testing out the Moon Dust palette. So now that we have our gray smoky eye complete, I wanna move on to the Urban Decay Moon Dust palette. I'm really excited for this palette because they basically took their Moon Dust formula eyeshadows, put it into a palette, and created all new shades. So I think for today, we're gonna probably use, either of these. The formula is nice. They're kind of creamy and pigmented, a little gritty. Like, they're definitely not smooth. You feel the grit, a little bit of the grit. Here is the two shades swatched. So here we have Lithium and Granite. Now I don't know which to use. You know what, for today we're gonna go ahead and use Lithium since it has a little bit of this duochrome vibe. It's kind of brown but kind of gray. So let's go ahead and work with that. The first thing I'm gonna do is just apply it without the brush being wet at all. I just wanna kind of see how it works on its own. So let's just go ahead and apply it. Really pretty. You definitely get like that intense sparkled effect without having to use a glitter, which I think is really cool. And I'm also going to use it wet just to show you guys how both dry and wet works. So this is dry. I'm gonna try mixing a little bit of Granite in, just in this area. So kind of right in between the outer corner and the lid. I just kind of did a little bit of this ombre thing. Now this shade Granite is much more creamier and much more pigmented. I can just tell right now by using this. You do get quite a bit of fallout, as you guys can see. Now I love this brush. This is the Morphe M500. Every single fallout that I have, look, bam, gone. It just takes it, lifts it up, and flicks it away without smudging. So I'm obsessed with this brush. So I just went ahead and wet my brush, and now I'm gonna dip back into Lithium and see how it applies wet. Really nice. So I like it better wet, of course, as with most products. It just gives it a really super foiled effect, which I'm always down for. So for an inner corner highlight, I'm gonna take L'Oreal Time Resist White, and I'm just gonna pop that right into the inner corner just to really brighten up this kind of deep gray smoky eye. It's gonna give it a nice pop. So now that the shadow is complete, we're gonna go ahead and try out some liner. This is the Urban Decay Perversion liner. They recently sent this out to me, so, oh, this is waterproof too, which is cool. So it says shake before use. I'm normally not an eyeliner pen girl. I prefer more of a brush, but we're gonna do this. I'm gonna use my little mirror here and try to do a wing. Super pigmented. Probably did a little bit too long of a wing. But for a pen, this isn't too bad. I just don't really like pen liner because I find that I don't get much control with it because it is kind of stiff. All in all, if you like pen liners, I think this is really nice. It's super black and it just went on so easily, even over that shimmery foiled glittery eyeshadow. So next here I have some lashes from Tarte. They actually just came out with some new lashes. We'll test out this shade. or sorry, not shade, style in Goddess. So this is how they look. They also came out with really cool lash applicators. So with their new lashes, of course, they came out with a lash glue. The packaging is so pretty. So this one says that it's a quick dry formula, which I'm excited to see. This looks like a black lash glue, which I'm excited about that as well, except that I normally can see how much I'm applying because the lash glue is white. And with this, I can't really see. Another thing too, I can't see how it's drying. With like a white formula, you can see it start to turn clear or change color. With this, I can't see that it's getting dry because it's black. Oh my God, I totally forgot to apply mascara. Great. So I might have to like reapply lash glue because it's been sitting here now for 20 seconds. Okay, so for mascara, we have a new one from L'Oreal that I really want to try out. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Feline. I always love L'Oreal mascara. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it from root to tip in a wiggle motion. That's normally how I do it. This is really pretty. It gives you like a nice wispy lash. The band is nice and flexible and soft, so it's easy to apply. So I am liking these lashes so far. So I don't know if you guys can see, but that mascara is actually flaking as I'm applying my false lashes and fixing it. So that's a no-no. My number one thing with mascara is I hate when it like flakes off because nobody wants black on their under eye. So last step is the lips, and I actually have some new Smashbox liquid lipsticks to try out. They sent me the entire collection, so I'm really excited to try them out. This one is in the shade Chill Zone, and I mean, it's beautiful. It's so enticing, just the shade. It's this beautiful like gray purpley shade, so let's test it out. I'm hoping I like the formula and the wand of these Smashbox liquid lipsticks. The formula is very smooth, very super smooth, kind of moussey, but like a liquid moussey. Very pigmented. This formula is so comfortable on the lips, and I'm actually really digging this color. It looks really pretty. Definitely different, definitely a little on the out of my comfort zone side, but I do really like it. So that completes this full face first impressions. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and makeup look. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.